Alright. Welcome everybody. How are we all doing today? Why is that disabled? Oh, that'd be why. Alright, welcome everyone to Season 6 Round 3, Tier 2 for BRL. We are back again. Everyone's favourite Sector 1 Miami today. Why is that? Oh, that'd be why. Okay. Well, sorry about the chat issue. That's a slight issue, I can sort that in a minute. Well, quali is going ahead, but first, before we get to that, let's take a look at the current standings that we've got as of now. Let's start with the driver standings. Robsey's looking strong currently with a 52, first place. But there is not too big of a gap, only 10 points between him and second, with Bazbrains in second. And then in a close third, Jimmy, good old Jimmy Jags, is in third with 37. It's not too large of a gap, so there's going to be some good competition for that spot today. As well as we've got Resurrection in fourth place with 32, so that's also close. This is still quite early on in the season, so there's still going to be quite a bit of competition for these spots. Fifth, Aaron Blake, 30 points. Sixth, we've got Melv, 30 points. Seventh is LX, 29. JR at 26 and 8th with 20 points. Harinator is in 9th with 18. We've got Nico F1 in 10th with 17. 11th is Soft with 12. BGR is in 12th with 12 points. We've also got 13th with 12 as well, so those three is going to be some competition for the 11th spot. We've got San 14th with 10, Little Eric in 15th with 9, 80 Numo 16th 7, got Chicken Wing is in 17th with 4, Truckers in 18th with 3, Huntilla 3 as well in 19th, so that's a tie there as well. And then back in last is myself. Well, I've now stood out of my seat. But no, we're seeing a lot of not too massive gaps, so there's going to be lots of fierce competition for those spots. Next up, for the constructors, Ferrari's got a strong lead, but is tied with Mercedes, both at 72 right now. So there's going to be good competition there for those two spots. We've got Williams in third, quite a big gap down to 46. AlphaTauri is in 4th with 39, Alpine 5th, 34, Oracle, Red Bull 6th with 33, Haas is in 7th with 30, got McLaren 8th with 28, Alfa Romeo 15th, Aston in 10th with 10. That is, so we're points still low, as I said earlier in the season, so there's still going to be some great competition to watch here. So, quali has started. Let's quickly transition to the qualifying. Let's see how things currently. Resurrection. Oh, has already set a good first lap with. Got 128 currently the fastest lap. There's going to be some decent competition out here today, by the looks of it. Still does have to be incorrect. Melv ain't too far behind on his fastest lap. But no, it's going to be a good season, I reckon. So I do apologise for the lack of streams we've had for Tier 2. But I'm sure we'll be getting back on track now. How many track is quite busy right now by the looks of it. Resurrection's going to take pit now. We've kind of got Melv out, Baz is out. So most of the teams are currently out. Yes, one of the Red Bulls is still in. McLaren's still in as well. I've only got one driver today. I'm reckoning especially for the Drivers' Championship today, it's going to be a lot of fierce competition. Baz is still out. Looks like he's going for a good lap right now. Yeah, most people seem to come back to the pits now. I've still got a few people who haven't set a time. Of course, there are, I believe there's one quali ban for this one, but I'm not sure if they are currently actually in. I believe that was Chicken Wing, but he doesn't appear to be here on this race. Okay, we got two people up there at laps. We've got Spider coming out as well as 18 Numas coming out. Aero appears to be going for it. It's currently 2.6 behind. Resurrection still with the fastest lap, coming back out. It's got a 1:28.34 right now. Melba's not too far behind. But Melba's currently back in the pits. Good old Jimmy's out. Today's a very special day. It's good old Jimmy Jags' birthday today. Be sure to go wish him a happy birthday back in the Discord. No, caution sector 1. Sector 2 now, what's happening? Missed it. No. Good to see some great competition today. GR's out. Got 5 more people coming out. Resurrection is still in his outlap from Elvis 2. Expecting to see some hopefully good performances today. If we go back onto the champions, it's the bronze category. Now the driver is going to be a good one to look at as well, especially with the such small margins between the lower ranks. Even when we move up to the higher ranks, it's still only 10 points between first and second. Off goes Resurrection, going for his proper lap. Try and add on to his times. The constructors as well is looking promising. Especially with the 2 pole positions tied. It's going to be an especially good one to keep an eye on. Bear with me while I just quickly change something. And I need to make sure you guys can still keep an eye on the quality while I'm taking care of something. That's gonna be a pain in my butt though. That's gonna make it look awful, isn't it? Yep. Why does it want to stop the audio when I back out? Extremely sorry about that. Alright, we'll keep it as it is for now. I will sort the chat out later for make sure it's working for the next stream. And we've got a new fastest lap from Melb, 127.8. Placing him on pole as of now. Resurrection back in the pits. Got a yellow in sector 1. Got Nico as well coming out on his outlap. Currently a 0.5 between second and first on their quali laps. Oh, where's Melv stopped? And Nico on his way out. And off he goes. Haranator is on his way out as well, on outlap. Huntilla on his way out as well. 18 in on his way out. We've got yellows in sector 2 now. Oops, sorry about that. I feel that there is going to be some fierce. I'm expecting, especially. I know Robsu has put in great competition over the last 2 races, during the Brazil, and I believe during the sprint race. I'm not entirely sure because I was not there for the sprint race, and of course we had a few issues with the stream. But yeah, there goes Robsu setting his time, so he's 1.3 currently behind the leader. Sadly, we're not seeing the full grid today, but 15 is still a good number. I'm sure, especially on Miami specifically, this is going to result in a bit of turn 1 madness. Well, sector 1 madness for this track, because Miami's sector 1 is a very bendy track, as we know. It's like any and there's no worse punishment than being made to do sector 1 on Miami with hard tyres. That's just like nightmare fuel. I do remember correctly from our sprint race in round 2, let's have a look. Still got Bazbrains out for some laps. Haranator and Nico are also out. Jimmy's on his way back out to the track. You know, Bazbrains is definitely one to look like he's going to be putting in some good competition, especially with that second finish he had during the sprint race, up 14 places, starting at the back and making his way all the way up to the front. Melv is looking like he will do well as well. He managed to get first place or pole position on the grid during our sprint race, but he was down 2 places last round. No, it's just still expecting good competition from him, especially setting a 127 for his qualifying. Robsu's another one, especially during the sprint race at the start. He managed to make it up 18 places during that sprint race for the essentially qualifying to get on for the grid during the actual race. He made it up 11 places, which is impressive. Oh, Soft's out. Okay, that's our first out of the session. Aeronator going out for some laps. We've got Cheers coming out now as well. Got Jimmy out as well. And Harry's gone to the pits. Jimmy is another one to look out for, especially as he is currently third within the Driver Championship with 37, not too far behind second. So this race, if his performance is good, he definitely has a chance to make his way up the standings. But then also he has to look out for Resurrection behind him, as Resurrection is not too far behind, only behind by a couple points at 32. So he definitely has a chance to make his way up as well. Speaking of which, he's coming back out onto the track. AlphaTauri, both of them are doing quite well as well. They're only on 39. Only about 7 points behind the third, which is Williams. So they have a chance to make it onto the podium for the constructor standings. But of course that gap between Williams and Mercedes and Ferrari for the battle for first is a decent size, with Mercedes and Ferrari being tied at 72 and Williams at 46. It's going to be a decent gap to make up. It all depends on the performance of Ferrari, Mercedes, as well as the rest of the teams, considering the rest of the gaps between the teams are quite short. Alpine aren't too far behind in 5th either. Red Bull will also have a decent chance, depending on the driver's performance today, with Nico and Spider. That driver championship, especially with Resurrection only being about 5 points behind Jimmy, there is going to be some competition for that third podium position. But then Jimmy as well, depending on his performance, that competition for the second podium. And then Robsu being in the lead by only 10 points. Got 2 minutes 30 left of qualifying. We are looking good for today. Once again, I do apologize about the chat issue. I believe I know how to resolve it, but in order to resolve it, I would have to shut down the stream and restart it, which is a major pain in the butt for all of us, so I'm just not going to bother. If there's anything super important, just ping me in the Discord and I'll get back to you. And everyone, looks like the drivers are coming back into the pits now. Error looks like he's trying to squeeze in another lap here. Error was one to, he's a reservist, but he was one to watch out for during round 2. I believe. Where is it? It's a pretty... It was an alright quali today. I know that this track isn't particularly anyone's favourite. Let's take a look at what we got for quali. So, Melv is going to be starting in pole position, with Resurrection in 2nd, Bazbrains in 3rd, Sun85 is going to be in 4th, Aero in 5th, Robsu in 6th, Nico in 7th, Aeronator in 8th, Chia in 9th, BGR 10th, Jimmy in 11th, Spider in 12th, 18 Numo in 13th, Soft in 14th. And if we scroll down, we've got Huntilla in last. That's qualifying over. Let's move on to the actual race for today. Alright. Just bear with me. Alright, here we go. And lights out and away we go. Mel already down, up is down 2, 3 position. Oh, 2 cars already off on turn 1. This is what we mean about this track. It is a mortal nightmare. Melva's dropped all the way down to 6th from pole position. Now with Resurrection taking the lead, taking advantage of that turn 1 chaos. Sar's not too far behind him though. That gap is increasing. Oh, Robsu and Aero with that competition for the 3rd position. They're still going at it side by side. Looks like Aero is just coming out on top on that battle. San as well. We've got both the Astons in 2nd and 3rd, both on podium positions right now. Got some battling down towards the 8th and 9th positions as well, down further back down the grid. Jimmy has fallen all the way back to 15th. Poor guy. Not his day for a race, especially on his birthday. Resurrection seems to be holding that lead strong with a 1.5 second lead on San. Still got quite close together group of drivers here. Let's see how far. Jimmy falling 15 seconds behind. Resurrection's getting the fastest lap of 1:34 as of now. Currently, some of the people's tyres plans are right now. Resurrection's sticking to the mediums now. Medium seems to be the common trait. Rob's still going in with the hards. That's an unusual strategy. We've also got Baz and Huntilla on soft, as well as BGR on hards. Quite an uncommon tactic for this track, as especially its Sector 1 is known for that lack of grip. Due to the windy nature of that turn, it's quite hard for your tyres to get a grip on that. And that Resurrection needs to be holding that lead strong. 1.8, 1.7 odd second lead on San. Both the Astons are still going at it as well. With Aero now getting ahead of San. Oh, Rob's getting off the arse. Careful there, mate. Alright. That full track map opens. I did not realise that I had shut that. Rob's made it up to 3rd. Oh, Baz is also making his way up to 6th down around towards the back. You see a battle between him and Melv currently. Baz takes advantage and came out on top. Oh, Jesus Christ, massive crash from Baz there. Oh, that has got to be devastating for him. He falls to the back of the grid. Oh, that is not got to be great for him at all. It's placed him all the way back 20 seconds. Oh! Spinning out like flies on that sector 1 there. Of course, this was a round not to look forward to because of Miami sector 1, which you can see on the map there. It is quite a twisty sector leading into the straights, to the slightly less windy and more straight part of sector 2, and then onto the final long straight of sector 3. Mel making his way back up. Got Nico coming into the top as well. Red Bull making their way into the top 5. Resurrection still leading strong with a 1.8 second lead. Getting a good lap in as well. One of the fastest laps set. Oh, that's fastest lap set by Aero. Oh, it's been beaten by Mel with a 131.8. Laps are looking good right now. Well, Baz has fallen all the way back to the bottom of the grid. After that nasty crash he had in sector 1, that's not got to be great at all. So, Nico is making his way up closer to Mel. He's obviously trying to play competition to try and find the perfect opportunity to try and get past. Mel was also looking forward towards Robsu, because this is quite a good-looking three-way fight for third, without massive gaps between them. And Resurrection still leading the race with a massive 2-second gap. He is dominating the race as of right now. Got that competition for third is coming in strongly between Robsu, Mel and Nico, with less than a second gap between them each. Sure, that's turn on the sector 3 straight especially, that would be a great opportunity. Oh, as Mel takes the opportunity, gets past Robsu. Robsu takes back to position on the turn, taking it through the inside, but then Mel takes it back on the outside. What a great battle that was. We come now back onto sector 1. Robsu was looking for the opportunity, but it just didn't come there. Baz now fallen 26 seconds behind 14th. So this three-way battle for third is going to be strong throughout the race by the looks of it. Aero is starting to make a catch-up towards Resurrection, possibly get some competition for a battle for first place. 18 Numo going to the pits on lap 5. That might give Baz some time to catch up. Yep. Baz is now taken back 14th. He's going to start hopefully making his way back to the grid. Oh, Robsu taken back third from Melv. That three-way battle for third is raging on for a great long period of time now. So the gap between second and third has increased to 4.8 seconds now. And 18 has made his way back out onto the track, currently 8 seconds behind 14th. Can he make up the time to get that position after that early pit stop? Look down at the back of the grid, see how we're doing back here. Aronator's try is getting up close. That second gap between him and Sam. Could possibly lead for a little bit of competition there for that spot. Resurrection is still holding a strong lead on this race. Right now in lap 6. A 2-second lead on Aero. That is now setting the fastest lap at 1:31.3. BGL's moving to 10. A slight bump on the wall from Aero there. I apologise for whacking my microphone. Got a 3-second time penalty for Spider. That is... If Hunter manages to close that gap, that is definitely going to affect him towards the end. A 3-way battle for third still raging on between Mel, Robson and Nico. Maybe not so much Nico anymore, as he has started to fall behind ever so slightly, but he is still there trying to make his way up into the third position. Mel Robson still appears to be battling out. Robson takes the position, taking back third place from Melv. The yellow. It's a 6-second gap between third and second. We're moving up to 7 seconds. 7-second gap. As the 3-way battle for third still rages on. Got Gio moving into the pits towards the bottom as well. Jimmy currently trying to work his way up the grid after that. Just not very good qualifying for him. He's currently trying to stick with that McLaren and find a spot to make a move. Oh, looks like he's... Oh, he tried to take... Oh, that's contact there. Wow. Small battle for 11th between Sof and Jimmy. Came to contact. Couldn't see fully what happened there. Well, the battle for third still raging on. Robsu and Mel swapping positions like there's no tomorrow. There's the smallest gap that is just the tiniest gap between the two of them. Nico is still behind them though, obviously waiting for an opportunity to get close enough to make a move. Sof and Jimmy both up. Hunter has fallen down to 12th as he has gone into a pit stop on lap 8. Because most people have gone off, the drivers that run softs have now gone over to mediums. This 3-way battle is still it's more of a 2-way right now between Robsu and Mills trying to see who can hold on to that third position. Nico is still behind them though, could be willing to make his move later on once he gets the opportunity to. Era and Resurrection is kind of in an area of their own there, as Resurrection still holds a 2-second lead on Era. Can Era make up that time and get in the spot to put in the competition for first place? Time will tell, and 20 more laps will tell. As slowly managing to make his way up the grid again, back up to 12th, and he fell to 15th earlier in the race. That is impressive. If he can keep up that work, he might manage to make his way back up the grid towards the leaders. Asbrains is a promising one, as shown in the last race by his second finish, but whether he can keep that up is what's going to be at play here. That large gap between him and the McLaren in front, as Jimmy has now moved up past the McLaren. Jimmy slowly seems to be crawling his way up the grid as well. BGR is obviously still trying to close that gap between him and Spider. Keep in mind the fact that Spider has been awarded a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Resurrection has moved up to the first place from second. Robsu, oh, what happened there? Robsu and no, Robsu and Nico now. Nico has managed to make a move up to 4th, getting past Mel. He's now got to put in that competition to get up towards Robsu and take that 3rd position. Can Mel, though, find the opportunity to make his way back up towards that 3rd place? We seem to oh! That's lag on my end, I presume. Oh dear. This is, I think, some quite good competition being put out throughout this race. That battle for the 3rd appears to be, looks like it may have come to its conclusion with Nico falling 1 second behind Robsu, but that could always change in the next 19 laps. And Mel make up that time and manage to make his way back up the grid. Will be one to look out for. Got Soft moving into the pits. On his way back out. Slow 15th is currently appears to be 1 minute 6 seconds behind Resurrection. Quite a large gap there. That gap between 3rd and 2nd is quite an impressive one as of right now. And like, mainly Resurrection is not going to have much to worry about throughout this race except for Aero. If Aero can make up that time to make his way back up to that position. Robsu is still obviously fighting strong to keep that position. We've got Sand moving into the pits now. This is where we start seeing drivers coming for their pit stops and tyre swaps. So we see some changes in the drivers' tyres here. We've got most people still running mediums, I believe. A couple hards and now a set of fresh softs out on the track from Soft. And we've got Nico with a 3 second time penalty for Nico. That is not good. That is really going to affect his final standing at the end of the race today. Oh, Mel has now managed to make his move and is making his way back up the grid. Away that 3-way battle for 3rd. It's more of a just 2 for now as Mel and Robsu are the main competitors for that spot. Unless Nico can get into that spot and put a substantial gap in, there is no way he's going to keep that position. With that 3 second time penalty, that's not going to be good for him. Just see that gap. And Mel manages to take back the spot from Robsu in 3rd. These two, then Robsu takes it back on the turn. Appears that Mel and Robsu are going to be going at it for this 3rd place position for most of the race. It'll be an impressive fight, really. We also have this in the background. Harinata has managed to make his way up to the 6th and is slowly trying to edge down that gap on Nico. If he can get close enough, then whether he overtakes won't matter because of that 3 second time penalty. Spider is slowly closing that gap on Harinata though. If he can try and get that opportunity, even then that penalty that he has, 3 seconds, is still going to be devastating for him. BG obviously going to be trying to close that 9 second gap. Got Melvin Robsu still going at it, but not taking back the 3rd position from Robsu. This is going to be an interesting one. See how this ends out. Especially with the main battle is actually for third right now. I'm not seeing. It looks like Resurrection is not going to have much competition throughout the race. Maybe up until pits, or if a safety car has to come out, that's when he'll be in trouble. But as of right now, he has got a strong lead. Aero, second place moving to the pits, is going to give the third place position a chance to gain on him. As the battle for third now turns into a battle for second. Spider moving to the pits as well. You're now going to be seeing some tyre changes. Spider falling down as he's in the pits. Aero back out on track now. He's going to need to try and make his way back up as Harinator manages to sneak into 5th past Aero. Aero's going to have to make up that time to get past him. Now the battle for third changing to a battle for second is going to get more heated. Then again, Resurrection with that impressive lead on the... He is setting an outstanding lead for this race with a 14-second gap between him and second. It's going to make this a very long one. As long as he can drag out that position without having any issue. A slight bump down here. Nothing major right now, that's good. No one... Oh yeah, everyone is still in the session, which is great to see. Definitely some fierce I keep mentioning that this battle between Mel, Robson and Nico is been raging hot. That as their tyres are starting to wear old now. They've had those tyres up for the whole of the race now. Harinator heading into the pits, going to give BGR a chance to catch up to him and take that position. BGR and now San as well go forward as Harry's out in the pits. Spider's out on fresh tyres as well, he's got some fresh mediums. Harry's coming out on a fresh pair of hards. Aero currently on a fresh pair of hards as well. That could see some issues for Mel, Robsu and Nico as they go in for their pits later on during the race. A great battle between these three. I'm sure it's going to rage on for most of the race by the looks of it. Resurrection with that impressive lead, there isn't really going to be much chance of catching him up. Resurrection is actually gaining on his teammate, which is something to bring up. And his teammate is currently down at the bottom of the grid. Now Resurrection comes into the pits. It's going to give Mel, Roxy and Nico a chance to close down on him and shorten that gap. Oh, as now Mel comes into the pits as well. Robsu is staying out. Nico and Mel into the pits. Now it's Robsu to take first place. But that is most likely not going to be for long as he's on a 14-lap old pair of hard tyres. Those are going to need to be replaced soon. Now with the Resurrection out down to second, we're going to see some more competition between him. Aero has moved his way up to third with San coming into 5-second penalty for Jimmy for speeding in the pit lane. Today is not his day. Poor man. Robsu holding that strong lead, but will he be able to keep it, especially with the 14-lap old pair of hards? Resurrection making his way up with Aero close on his back. San as well with that. San with that 11-second gap though is going to slowly try and catch his way up on that 4-lap old pair of mediums. Sure, Aero and Resurrection are going to be fighting for that second place position to see if he can gain up on Robsu, especially when he goes in for his pit. Which is quite a fierce one. Comes on the corner. Melv as well, making his way up towards San. The two Astons in 3rd and 4th. Oh, and Resurrection's past Rosu. Rosu's heading for his pit. Now with Resurrection Aero passing him, Sam may be able to follow suit if he gets up to that first straight fast enough. As Sam now follows suit, surely Melv and BGR will as well, taking Robsu down the grid ever so far. As Robsu moves his way back out onto the track, slipping his way back into 5th place. Going to try now build his way up back to that pole position. With the two Astons there in 2nd and 3rd place currently. That will surely benefit them if they can keep it like this for the race, especially because of their constructor standing. Currently in 10th place with 10 points in the Constructor Championship. But Resurrection has seemed to have grabbed that lead, and he's trying to make that strong hold on it as he had before. I do apologise for the slight sliding, that's most likely my internet being a bit playing up. Would not surprise me, especially in a day like this. But no, the Astons especially, this will definitely benefit them if they can keep those positions. But then again, Melv is slowly making his way up to San, even though that 3-second time penalty will heavily affect him in his final position as of currently. Robsu is making his way up. Robsu appears to be trying to take the opportunity on Melv. Oh, it doesn't take it. Jimmy with another 3-second time penalty. It is really not Jimmy's day today. Until as well with the 3-second penalty and multiple warnings. Oh, that fierce battle between Melv and Robsu. Robsu tries to find the opportunity to take the overtake, and he does it, passing Melv. And then Melv finds the opportunity to take it back. Is he going to keep it? Is he going to be able to keep hold of that position? It is amazingly, these two have been trying, battling for most of this race. Will be Gianno moving for his pit as well. It's going to give Soft a chance to catch up. Got Resurrection still holding that strong lead. Currently a 1-second gap between him and Aero. But Aero is only really going to be his main concern right now, because 3rd place, 14 seconds behind. Robsu and Melv are still going at it for that 4th place position. The strong battle between those two that has been going on throughout the race. Robsu managing to secure 4th for now, as they come round to the bend into the Sector 3's final straight. It's amazing to see the fierce competition between these two. Robsu definitely is one to look out for, trying to secure that place that he currently has within the Driver Championship, currently being 1st place. He wants to hold on to that. With a driver also like Resurrection within the race, will he be able to, is the question. Got Bazbrains as well, still trying to make his way up the grid after that devastating early on crash he had in Sector 1. He's making an impressive performance though, up to 11th. It's great to see. Poor Jimmy though, with all of those penalties. With an 8-second penalty for Jimmy on his birthday race. Today is not his day. Oh! With Robsu making the move on San, taking the 3rd position. The Melv now trying to come and take the opportunity. He doesn't take it. He comes around on the inside of the turn and takes that position, keeping the rivalry between these two drivers going. As San now falls back into 5th. He's going to be wanting to regain that place. Especially impressive. Robsu and Mel seem to be sticking to each other, keeping together on this track, which is really impressive to see. With Robsu managing to move up 3 places from qualifying, but Melv has dropped as he managed to qualify pole position, but he's come back all the way down to 3rd, 4th place. he's going to be wanting to put in that fight to try and make his way back up to that pole position. Got San as well, so he's definitely going to be wanting to try and take his place back. With that gap increasing though, it's going to be difficult for him to do so. Robson as well with that massive 15-second gap between him and Aero. Resurrection still holding on that strong lead though. Currently on 4-lap hole, we have hard tyres as we come in with 10 laps left to go. With Resurrection is actually catching his way up to the back of the grid. With Gia being 123 behind. Just looking at the possibility of possibly getting lapped. Robsu making that move as well. Untilla, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is not going to do him any favours there. Possibly going Untilla though in the last position though. So that time penalty won't really affect him unless he manages to catch up to Chiescu in 14th. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. If I try to correct me in the Discord. Once again, I do apologise for the chat issue. That will be fixed on the next one. I will be able to sort that out. Robsu's still trying to close that gap. No, Robsu's managed to open up quite a decent sized gap between him and Melv, increasing it to 2 seconds between the drivers who have been fighting for their positions most of the race. Rest to see if Robsu will be able to hold onto that gap long enough with 9 laps to go. It is really an impressive feat. I keep mentioning him, but Resurrection holding a strong hold on that lead. Got Nico making his way up as well, passing San. Sure, San's not going to be pleased about that as he managed to make his way all the way up to 3rd with his other, with both the Astons being next to each other, but now he's fallen all the way down to 6th place. As Nico now opens up that gap. Nico's definitely going to be looking to make his way up towards Melv if possible to try and re-engage in that battle for 3rd. Here's though Melv has fallen quite decent behind. We've got a caution, sector 3. Appeared that one of the Alfa Romeo drivers had a bit of a struggle there. I believe it was Huntilla. I'm not entirely sure about that though. That 14-second gap though between Robsu and Aero is definitely what's looking like the current struggle for Robsu, as he can't make his way up to that 2nd position easily. So Aero is definitely one to look out for, especially seeing his performance during the sprint race last week. During round 2, it was quite an impressive one, even the fact that he is only a reserve driver at this time. So Robsu is definitely trying to hold him to that position, with Melv dropping 2.8 seconds behind. He's going to be looking to close that gap. Got the 2 Red Bulls, 5th and 6th. Decent gap between them though. Aeronator is also moving up towards Spider to obviously try and take that 6th position, move his way up the grid. Which is great to see. San as well making his way back up towards BGR as well. And what looks like an attempt to take back his position. Harrington seems to be really getting up towards Spider's tail now, trying to take that position from him, looking for that opportunity. is definitely impressive to see. This has been quite a good race so far. Still no drivers crashed out, which is great to see as well. It's great news for Resurrection as well, because it means he does not have to worry about the safety car or virtual safety car hindering his lead. He's currently holding onto that lead strongly. The safety car is the least thing he would want right now, because of course getting all the drivers bunched up will cause him a load of chaos again. We've got Melv is slowly trying to shorten that gap between him and Robsu. Whether he'll be able to do that in time though is, well, as we head into the 23rd lap. Resurrection is slowly catching up with the back of the grid, like I mentioned earlier. There's a definite possibility he could be lapping the Alfa Romeo there, which would be devastating for him. Well, no, he's already lapped the Alfa Romeo. He's catching up to his teammate. Huntilla has really fallen off, being a minute and 11 seconds behind. AT Numa being a minute 30 behind. AT Numa still on a 17 lap old pair of hard tyres as well. Well, that gap between Robsu and Melv currently sitting at 2 seconds still. Nico trying to make his way up as well. Nico is currently sitting comfortably in 5th though, with Harinator being in 6th behind him, having an 11-second gap between the two cars. Melv coming towards the Sector 3 straight. Jimmy Jack, another penalty for Jimmy. It is really not Jimmy's day today. He's going to be absolutely unhappy about that, especially considering the special birthday he is having. This championship is really treating him well this round, on this Miami Grand Prix. It is. I don't know, Jimmy's not going to be happy about that. Currently holding an 11-second penalty. If Soft manages to close that gap, it's going to be over for Jimmy. Melv slowly trying to decrease the size of that gap so he can find that opportunity to take 3rd. As we come round now, with 5 laps to go of the Miami Grand Prix. Resurrection still holding that strong hold on the pole position there. Soft moving in for another pit. Jiu-Jitsu taking advantage and heading into the top position with AT Numa for AlphaTauri, and Huntilla going to be slow catching. Huntilla appears to have fallen way behind. Especially with that penalty, that is really not going to give them any hand at all. We come into the 25th lap. Aranator's still sitting comfortably in 6th. Lozano slowly making his way up behind the Haas car. He's definitely going to be looking to try and gain on him to get that opportunity. Melv still obviously trying to get up towards Robson. Caution sector 2, looks like we've had a slight issue. Appears it's a possible contact between the Alfa Toro and the McLaren there, as they were coming around the bend into sector 3 straight. The 14-second gap between third and second is not doing Melv and Robson any favours at all in trying to catch up to the leaders. Error and Resurrection still holding a strong grasp on first and second. One of the Haas drivers appears to have had a slight issue while coming out into towards sector 2. Has made their way down again. Well, then Melv, even if he manages to get up and make that move on Robson, he's definitely going to have the issue of that penalty. With that 5-second time penalty, you'd have to not only get past Robson, but open that gap in order to have any chance of holding onto that position. Poor Jimmy with his 11-second time penalty. He isn't really going to do much as of now, as Jigsaw still got a large gap to try and close for that penalty to have any effect. It's definitely a devastating day for Jimmy. It's not been a great race for the guy. As he comes around into sector 2, he's definitely trying to make his way up. With that 11-second penalty, it's going to be a hard one for him. Got Bazrain managed to make his way up to 9th after his devastating crash during the early runs of the race. Making his way all the way back up to 9th. Very impressive performance from him today, especially. Oh, we had a possible fight there between Harinata and San as well. Never mind, that's the wrong drivers. Oh no, between... Okay, that is... appears to have a ghosted car there. But no, Resurrection and Air are still holding that strong hold on the two main podium positions, first and second, with that marginal 16-second gap for Robson to try and close. With 2 laps left to do, it's going to be a difficult one for him to accomplish that. He's definitely trying hard though. Most drivers appear to be just sitting comfortably where they are as of now, but there is still opportunity for people to let their guard down as we come into lap 28. The Air and Resurrection is still holding that strong lead. It's going to be a good one, good battle between those two if Air manages to close that interval as we come towards the end of the race today. With that 5-second time penalty, Nico with a 3-second time penalty as well. Those penalties aren't looking like they're going to have much too bad of an effect today, considering some of the marginal gaps between the cars out there on the track. Look at Resurrection is still holding a strong hold on first. If Aero can close that gap for the final lap as they come round the corners. It's a great performance from Resurrection today, holding strong in that first place. Aero is definitely looking to put in that competition as they head into the final lap of the race. Still got that massive gap between third and second. This is right now looking like it's going to prevent Robsy from making any progress at all into the top two. He might have to settle for where he is. But hopefully that will be enough for him to keep his lead in the Driver Championship. Resurrection Aero still Aero has managed to close that gap, trying to make the battle in as they come towards the corner into the sector 3 straight. It's going to be a fierce battle between these two. They head down the straight. As Resurrection opens up that gap between the two drivers. Needs to be around towards the final straight. Just opening up that gap as he comes towards the finish line. And Resurrection for the win. Aero taking second. What an impressive feat from him today. Sitting comfortably in first for almost the entire race. Now as Robsu and Melv come round, finishing the race there. Robsu third, Melv taking fourth. Docking with that penalty, however, but Nico is looking like he's not going to be able to catch up that time. G2 hitting the fastest lap of 1:30. Consider receiving a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I'll come round. Sang coming into the final turn, making his way across the line, taking 6th, with Harinator in 7th. BGR taking 8th. Basbrain's managed to take 9th after that crash during the early stages of the race. What an impressive one from him. Spider finishing in 10th. Here comes Jimmy as he comes around the bends towards the finish line. Sitting in 11th. Not a great race for Jimmy at all today. As we come into the end of the Miami Grand Prix. What an impressive feat today. Driver today is going to be Jig2. So let's look at the final results of today's Grand Prix. After an impressive feat today, like really, that was a good race for Resurrection, taking first place. Impressive feat for him. Alright, so for the final standing of today's Grand Prix, we had Resurrection in first place, Aero Blake second, Robsy third, Melv coming in at fourth, Nico F1 at fifth, San85 at sixth, Aronate is going to be taking 7th, BGR is going to be taking 8th, Basbrains at 9th, especially after that crash. That's an impressive feat. Spider at 10th, Jimmy at 11th, Soft at 12th, Jig2 at 13th, 18 Numerwood at 14th, and finally with Huntilla coming in at 15th. What an impressive race today. I'll give it to all the drivers for that amazing competition out there on the track. But that performance from Resurrection today just couldn't be beaten. That battle between Robsy, Mel and Nico was impressive throughout most of the race. Alright. It was an impressive race today. with me 1 second. Where is it? I've lost it. Oh, great. Did I put in... Where did I put that? Bear with me 1 second. I appear to have made a mistake, which is perhaps we need to get into the post-race interviews, if I can find the banner for it. Did not get that saved. That is on me. I am being a slight tad slow today. Well, my PC not helping, but slowly getting there. Alright. It's an impressive feat though today. Going to be transitioning to some post entries with the first, second and third. Impressive feat today from all of the drivers in Tier 2. Lovely holding onto that position from Resurrection, especially today. Was a beautiful performance from the drivers. Bear with me a minute, because we will transition later on into the interviews with the top 3 of today's race. That will be Resurrection Arrow and Rob Sue. Was an impressive feat, especially from Resurrection today. I have to give it to him. That constant hold that he had on that pole position today was some of the most impressive thing. Then Aero with that second place. He was trying to win that competition, but he didn't manage to get up there, but he was putting in that strong competition today. As we try to get this organised, we see if the drivers would like our top 3 drivers would like to do their interview. It's a slight, because it was a bumpy start for me, as I have had a few issues. Again, I apologise for the chat issue. That will be fixed with the next one that I host. We will also fix some of the other issues, including some of the lag issues I've had. It's all stuff in progress that I can sort out later on. Alright. I am joined now by Resurrection, our pole finisher of today's race. So, Resurrection, would you like to speak up? How did you find today's race? Oh, moved back. Resurrection has moved back. Bear with me a second, we're still trying to organise this, as we have a new system for this, and it's taking us some time to get used to it. No, the battles between Rob Sue, Melv, and who else was it? Nico during the entire race, really, especially between Rob Sue and Melv, was some of the most impressive feats I've ever seen. Alright, so drivers have moved in, so... Alright. Arrow, start off, how you doing, man? How'd you feel after today's race? You are muted if you are trying to speak. So, I do apologise for this, guys. Just bear with me 1 second. But yeah, the competition today, especially the constant and consistent battles between Nico and Rob Sue, as well as what was his name? I forgot. Now I am terrible at this. Not remembering names. It was Nico. Between the battles between Nico, Robsy and Mel, that's the one. Bear with us as we try to sort some issues out with people's microphones. This might take us a bit. But we will get on to the interviews, I do promise you, for the drivers who would like to do their interview. Sadly, we're not going to see an appearance from Robsu in this one. But hopefully, if we manage to get things sorted, we should be able to have a chat with both Air and Resurrection, the two with the strong hold on first and second throughout the last laps of that race, which was impressive to see. It was a great race to see with no one actually coming in with a massive crash out during that race. then of course Baz is still a name to bring up, especially with that comeback all the way up to 9th or 15th after he had that slight go off the track and crash in Sector 1. Alright.
Testing.
Yep, I can hear you.
Hey.
Resurrection.
Sorry, it's Aero Blake. I managed to switch it to my PlayStation. It's the only way to make it work.
No problem, man. Aaron, how are you feeling after that race with the second place finish today?
Yeah, really good. Quali, I didn't really prep much, so quali, the first sort of first half of the session, I was running sort of 8 laps of fuel, just trying to get my eye in, get a feel for the circuit in the car. Had a push lap at the end. It wasn't bad. I think got me P5 or P6 on the grid, about a second off the pole, which seemed reasonable at least. I think the pole time was a good 0.3 to half second quicker than everyone else, so that was a mega lap. So full credit to, I think it was Malves in the Alpine.
Happy birthday,
yeah, it was
Jimmy.
a really, really strong time. So I was quite happy with P5. It was a good race. I got quite fortunate with the other Aston Martin taking out the Ferrari and Malves, the Alpine at turn 1, just going a little bit deep by the looks of it, and it's kind of a bit of a domino effect. So that put me to P3. Quite quickly got to P2. I think it was Rob who was on hard. So I started on medium, was able to get past him fairly early on. And then me and Resurrection, we just seemed to have that edge over the rest of the field. He had that slight edge on me. I was a bit stronger in sector 1, so I'd close up by a couple of tenths, but then he'd stretch that back in the middle sector. So the gap was fairly static a lot of the race, aside from the odd error. It was just a very boring in a sense, but a strong drive from me and him, a commendable drive. I just tried to stick close enough to him in case he made a mistake, in case he got a 3 second corner cut penalty. But yeah, full credit to him, he was untouchable. I tried as best I could to get back up to him. The last few laps I just about closed up. I think I got DRS on the very first straight at the last lap. Again, using that sector 1 advantage to just sneak DRS. I was out of battery, so I think I got up to about 7 tenths behind going at the end of that DRS straight. Sorry. Then he used his middle sector advantage, and I just didn't quite make DRS for that run to the final corner, which might have been a bit interesting if I'd had the toe down there.
Yeah, it was quite close, especially coming into that last lap. But no, it was a commendable drive from both of you there, especially on that last lap, with you two having that quite strong hold on the first and second positions, because there was about a 16-second gap between you and third throughout most of that race.
Yes.
Especially in the later laps.
We seem to scamper away a bit. I was quite conscious that the Alpine, I'd say the pole sitter Mouse, I think his name is, apologies if that's wrong. Obviously, he got bumped off at turn 1. He seemed to have a pretty decent comeback because I noticed him pop up on my timing screens back and setting purple laps. I think he was up to about P4 again after lap 5. And he was probably only 3.5, 4 seconds behind me. So obviously I'm thinking with the pace he showed in quali, he's pretty much going to come and cruise up to me and Resurrection. But then he seemed to just get caught in a battle. I guess the DRS was on at this point, so if ever he got past the Mercedes of Rob, obviously then there's another DRS straight not too far away, so Rob gets past him, and I noticed they kind of just kept swapping on my leaderboard. So I mean, it seemed like it would have been really good to commentate on, so I look forward to watching that back. But obviously they're slowing each other down, battling, and we just kept sort of creeping away. Then about half second a lap. I think by the time it was first pit stops, it was up to 10 seconds. So unless there was a safety car, I was pretty sure kind of it was going to be me and Resurrection 1-2. It was just in which order.
Yeah. Of which, Resurrection, is your mic sorted yet? Are you good? Because I know there's been some trouble with the microphones as of now. Scroll down to tier 2. Yeah, I do not believe Resurrection managed to get his mic sorted yet, because I cannot hear him if he is speaking. Just bear with me as I close down the game. Alright. Yeah, no, Era, thank you for your time. And yeah, great race you had today out there. Especially considering the race you had last week as well, with that high position last week, but we didn't have the stream for last week, sadly. Yeah, yeah, your second finish as well today is really going to help out Aston with the constructors standings as well, as they are currently sitting at the bottom of the table with 10 points. So your position today is really going to help Aston Martin out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Resurrection is not able to get his mic sorted. So post race is a second place interview because Rob Sue had other things to take care of. But yeah, thank you for your time, Aaron. I appreciate it. And yeah, good luck in the future next week if you get brought in, because I know you're still in reserve right now, I believe. Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah, yeah. No problem. Alright, well, I look forward to seeing you racing in the future. Take care. Alright. I am such a numpty. I had it muted that entire time. I severely apologise. But no. Alright, well, that is going to be the end of BRL Tier 2 Round 3, the Miami Grand Prix. Thank you for being here and watching today. And we will see you all in the next races up to come for both Tier 1 and Tier 2. The standings will be posted out later today as well. So look forward to the next race with round 4 Spain coming up next week, Wednesday, 8 PM UK time. And yeah, all of you have a great rest of your day. And take care, everybody. See you all next week.